Good morning, you're watching Morning at NTV, and this Friday I thought I'd bring you something that you might be ignoring. Even I was ignoring at some point. It comes from everything of how you're using your phone and you're bending your neck, or you're exercising and you don't really know how to hold the weight of your body, or you take for granted that even your weight could be detrimental to your body, or you're sitting in a certain position and it's more comfortable to lean back in the chair because it's what's more comfortable. And then over the years, your body gives up and you're thinking, my bone, my spine, my neck, what do I do about it? And of course, the biggest issue we all cry about, Ugandans, my back hurts. You say that so many times, but you don't know which part of your back hurts, what you can do about your back hurting. And some of you, what do? You pop a pill here and there to relieve the pain. But today, I thought we'd talk about just that, nerves and bones. Joining me is Dr. Ruth Balemezi from Nerves and Bones Rehabilitation Center. Good morning.
Good morning, Flavia.
You woke me up to a point where even sure I tend to do this. I sit upright because, and I think the more I thought about it, when I tend to sit badly even for a few seconds, I feel
the pain.
Yes.
I hope it's
which
not
never used to
psychological.
happen before. Maybe because I was used to the pain that it would become normal. But if we're going to talk about nerves and bones, where do we start?
Okay. Nerves and bones is broad. But maybe let us discuss the rehabilitation part of it. That during rehabilitation, it has 3 phases. We do eliminate pain, like the back pain, the neck pain, the shoulder pains, the usual pains, because that's a major complaint that brings people to hospital. Then we do restore function. You've heard about stroke people. Now that is the nerve.
Feel
exactly, like you cannot function again. Then the people from surgeries who need to get back on track after an accident or anything. Then above all, we do prevent disease and disability. And that's why we keep telling people how to prevent disease.
Okay, so nerves and, well, talking about our bones, I know we've hinted about how we use our phones, how we sit, how we even sleep, by the way.
True.
I still haven't mastered sleeping positions. I wake up with a pain in my neck. But let's talk about our lifestyle and why it's important to note that, especially when it comes to bones.
Okay, one, if we talk about the bones, especially the back that you're more interested in, it is getting so common. So it's becoming a public health importance. It is a lifestyle disease. It's not a communicable disease, but which is affecting so many Ugandans. And unfortunately, it's affecting people of all ages.
I was about to say, isn't it just older people? Because I think that's what used to happen, though, Dr. Ruth. There used to be older people with my back hurts.
Exactly.
And you say it's age. Is there such things?
Yeah, aging. We shall talk about why people get it and the risk factors. But we realize that all ages get affected. Really? These days we see children as young as 11 years. And you check their x-rays, which are really not corresponding to the age. And when we were studying, it was more of the elderly. It was a lifestyle disease after gaining a lot of weight. But we make our children sit for so long, watch TV, they never exercise. And then 2, it affects our activities of daily living. You cannot sit well when your back is hurting. You cannot bend well. You cannot do your work well. So that's why we are talking about it. Yeah,
but at a child at 11, okay, I would assume an 11-year-old's spinal structure and mine are different. Mine has gone through issues, theirs hasn't. Why would an 11-year-old be prone to having issues with their back?
So many issues. Some are congenital. Some are born with malalignments. For example, we have like scoliosis, where someone forms an S shape around their back. But also because of the lifestyle. We are getting,
you can detect when they're born?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But also, we are looking at the fact that how can they cope even when they are born with that? Our children lack exercise and they're eating badly. We see so many children now who are obese, which is not good at all. And
we're the ones feeding the children, so it's ideally our fault.
Exactly.
So risk factors, let's talk about weight. Because we keep telling people to exercise and they think you're doing it just to look good. We don't realize that. So I was actually told that even at my weight, I could be heavy for my body. So explain that to us.
True. So what weight does with the bones is so funny. I always relate it to a story with my young girl called Amy. She's 8 years. And it's just like a tough mother. If I tell my child, go and get me a jerrycan of water, she can use a 5-liter jerrycan to get me water. But because I'm a tough mom, I'll tell her, go and get me a 10-liter jerrycan. She will go again and collect the 10-liter jerrycan. And then because I'm a very tough mom, I'll tell her, get me the 20-liter jerrycan. And because she's 8 years old and she will try to bring that water, she will break. That is the same thing that happens to our bodies and weight. We keep loading it, and we are the tough masters of our bodies. And they have no option. The bones do not grow bigger. They keep carrying that load and carrying without expanding. I think the relationship with my daughter made a very big sense.
It did. So if, for example, we can tell from just looking at a person, maybe if they're obese, and sometimes, of course, after checks. But if my body weight to my eyes doesn't seem like it's too much, and I walk here and there, I try and exercise, maybe I eat right, let's just say I eat right. How do I know, how can I tell that my body weight is not able to support my body?
Oh yeah, through the nutrition people, or even us, we do the BMIs. Yeah, the body mass index, yes. So it helps reflect a lot. I'm actually also struggling with my weight.
You're the doctor saying, listen, the truth is even me, I'm struggling. Yes, but because I exercise a lot, and I'm still told that if I try to jump up and I land with so much pain, it means I can't carry my body weight or something like that. And I've never understood that. Then you have pains at every turn of the exercise. But the risk factor of weight we've understood, which ideally you're trying to tell me we should over time be checking our body mass index.
Exactly, and then control the weight, because we are that rude parent to our bodies.
We're pushing 20 liter and 10 liter. So what are the other risk factors that you can mention, especially for us Ugandans?
Aging. We cannot run away. Yes, we cannot run away from aging.
Does that mean our bones are growing old, or our bodies are growing old?
No, over time, wear and tear occurs. So our bones degenerate. Like anything, something can grow old. And then we have genetics. There are some people who really get affected faster than others. We have occupational hazards.
My job.
Your job. For example, if you sit a lot throughout, you drive your car, park it in the parking lot, come, sit on your desk, work, you're tired, go to your car, move around, sit, go home, you're so tired, you're watching your favorite program on DSTV, sitting. That sedentary lifestyle is not good. But also some jobs like the nurses, like the construction people, the salon people.
Someone on their feet for long hours? On
their feet, sitting for long. The salon people, because they repeatedly bend to make our hair. Then we have the office people, the corporate people. Really these days, there was a study that was done, and they are getting worse than the casual laborers downtown. Yes. So the sedentary lifestyle is there. Pregnancy for women.
My colleague actually wanted you to share about that. She says she had a lot of back issues when she was pregnant, and she had a tough pregnancy because of that.
So when you're pregnant, the body changes because it has to prepare for the baby that is coming and for delivery. So as what we call normal physiology in pregnancy, the ligaments, the muscles that hold the bones together tend to relax to allow that facilitation. But during that, pain can come in. But also pregnant women really don't observe the posture. They're like, I am so tired about it, and it's okay. So also the load that they're carrying is also another factor, because the baby is heavy and the abdominal muscles tend to be stronger and stretching the back muscles. Unfortunately, these days, we have men competing with the women in terms of pregnancy.
I hear you.
Yes, they have their big stomachs.
But they think for them they're fine.
And they never deliver. That's their problem.
The pregnancy stays there for life.
Forever. And they worsen their backs. Long time ago, it used to be the women and women. These days also men are coming up, but that's obesity. They should trim off. If you have friends, tell them to deliver as soon.
See, for them, they always assume, this won't affect me much.
It does. It does a lot.
Okay, so because of it's pulling down.
It's pulling down. It's stretching the back and making the back muscles weaker.
Okay, so pregnant people are prone to this. Age, you've said genetics as well. Occupational hazards.
Excess weight, the poor posture.
Poor posture. Someone told me to ask this when you're on the show. They said that they drink a lot. Not water, obviously, or juice. And they've been told that when they try to stand, their knees wibble or shake.
When they drink?
I think it's an overtime effect. So they were told to reduce their drinking. And he thought, my bones are not helping me anymore. So he was saying, is drinking also a lifestyle effect of my bones, degenerating?
There is no particular evidence with drinking. A lot of people have tried to debate drinking in all aspects, in hypertension, in pregnancy. But this is what drinking does to the body, to the bones especially. When we eat anything, even if you eat an egg, a banana, if you drink or meat, it causes either acidity or an alkaline state in our bodies. Okay. So when we drink the alcohol, it causes acidity in the body. So when it causes that acidity, it encourages or it makes the corrosion of the bones much faster than a person who is in an alkaline state. But there is no particular evidence. People have tried to debate it because they say, but me, I drink and I have no problem.
I'm good.
But that is what is coming up, and that's what we can discuss about.
Okay, so you said the phases of discussing is eliminating pain, restoring function, preventing disease and disability. Yeah. So let's start with eliminating pain. So the pain has occurred. You're now eliminating the pain.
Exactly.
Talk to me about that.
Now, when someone gets the pain, like back pain, we do not really discuss treatment in such a platform, but it's good to seek early consultations. Most of the people come when what we call the conservative treatment or treatment without surgery cannot help.
Okay.
Because you have poor consultation habits. We normally drop in when things are terrible,
when I can't walk.
So when that pain comes in, it's always very good to seek attention as early as possible. And not everyone needs a full treatment or whatever. You can be advised on what to do, and you go with that.
Okay, so speaking of the back, and I don't know if my producer can actually put the image of the back spine in. I'm trying to understand because this lower, is it the lower back? Some people get more pain there, others the shoulders, and I'm not sure which is worse because they're all bad, but which do you believe is worse? Because if I'm looking at my spine, which holds more? Right here.
The spine is the same.
It's the same.
The spine is the same.
So it doesn't matter where I'm feeling my pain.
It runs all through.
So whether I feel my pain lower, whether I feel my pain shoulders,
it's all the spine.
We're in trouble.
No, not really trouble. But looking at the spine, the lower, the upper, if you see there is a relationship, if we get the other one for the calves, there is a relationship between the neck and the back because of that curve, the normal curvatures of the body. And the spine is made of so many components. It has got the muscles, it has got the bones, it has got the discs, it has got the spinal cord that gives off as branches. So if any of the above is affected, pain will come in. Okay. But depending on the structure, because it runs all the way neck up to the bottom, that's all the spine. We never say that people normally confuse the spine for the spinal cord.
Yes.
But the spine is the bigger component of all that.
Right.
The muscles, the ligaments, the bones, the discs, the
spinal cord.
So if I'm
feeling pain, it might be
the nerve. Exactly. It might be the muscle. Okay. It might be the disc. It might be the bone. And in terms of structure, this spinal cord is like a big tree giving off branches. Okay. However, in terms of function, it's like a transformer that gives off wires that supply electricity to our homes. Now, those wires are the nerves. Okay. And the transformer is our spinal cord. Yes. That's why sometimes people get pain that radiates to the bums,
That's something lower, huh? But that's, what is it, sciatica?
The sciatica now, it's affecting that big wire. I'm trying to make it simple, that goes down to the legs.
Right.
However, the lower back, being that it's carrying a lot of weight, unlike the upper back, is affected more.
Okay.
And because of posture, we normally insult it. And the neck as well. If you see the thoracic region, the mid part or the upper back, around the chest, is not so much affected like the other regions. Because we normally insult our bodies. When you if I insult you, Flavia, today, you'll take it easy. You'll say, this lady is confused. Maybe she has something wrong.
Over time?
But over time, you slap me back. So that's what happens with our bodies.
Yes.
They slap us back with pain.
Okay, I want us to talk about restoring function, but you said something about the lower back. So when you said weight, somebody might say, my upper body, I'm small. But people from certain parts of the country are endowed with hips.
I get you.
Yes.
I get you.
I hope that's not a detriment as well.
It also affects in one way. For example, people who are generously gifted downstairs, like
hips,
people, the hips, the bums, they are normally their body compensates for that weight. If you've realized, they get a curve in their back, a big curve that follows. So once it follows that way, that means this back, the lower back is carrying that weight, the bums and all that. So over time, that's why a reduction of weight is very good. So these muscles, what we call the gluteal muscles, the bum muscles, are also bringing a lot of stress onto your lower back.
Okay, so how do you restore function? I'm guessing it depends at what point I've come to you.
Now, restoration of function is when someone is unable to do what they used to do.
Oh, okay.
For example, people who have gone through accidents and you want to walk again, but maybe you cannot walk again. Okay. There are precautions after surgery. And then like people with neuro diseases, like stroke, like the Guillain-Barré syndrome, you just wake up and your arm cannot touch anymore.
Wow.
So we re-educate the brain and the nerves and the whole system to try and relearn what you knew before. Let
me ask you, sometimes when you sleep on your arm, and you wake up and for a minute there you can't feel anything. That's not too bad.
No. No, that's okay. That's just a hiccup.
Because you feel it for a bit, then
that's okay.
You're back to normal.
That's okay.
So when you say preventing disease and disability, what happens in this phase?
For example, what we are doing here. Actually, I should thank you for this. Information. I'll thank you for this platform that Ugandans are getting to know that if they know, information, knowledge is power. So if they know, like how you knew about your posture, now you're aware.
Yes, now I'm aware, yes.
So, and also early intervention prevents disability, as well as the information provided prevents disease. Once you know something, like us the women, you talked about the people who are gifted generously. If you put on a sharp, pointed shoe, that's not for you. That's not for you.
So those women who love heels?
How do you call them? The 6 inches?
6-inch heels.
They are not ours.
Really?
They are not ours. They are for more slender people. But you find someone so heavy and tilting on the sharp pointed shoe.
Okay, so so my height as well matters if I'm too tall?
But heavy.
Okay, so if I'm tall and heavy, that's even worse.
Yes.
Okay, so certain heels are for certain people.
Exactly. You've seen them struggling running down a hill. If they are walking down, they really, as they are struggling, it's their spine trying to balance up, trying to cope that stress, because you're actually insulting it and saying, okay, let me carry, let me move along, let me try. Okay. So that's also, awareness is key. Now that they know the other lower shoes are better, they carry the load in a match without stressing the spine that bad.
So choose what you call smartness and your body, ideally.
Exactly. Normally when I talk about it, women complain. They say, oh, leave us with fashion.
Yes. So I've seen the shoes, but I wanted our producer to put back the posture one because I need to know how we're walking and how we're sitting. But especially, I think this is posture of standing, if I'm not mistaken. How we slouch. Is it when we're walking? What's this? This is
no. That one is showing how different people are created differently.
Okay, created.
Like if you can see the other one with the S shape, the severe scoliosis. Now imagine such a person with such a curve. with heavy weight and putting on a high-heeled shoe. What type of insult are you giving your spine? So we need to know and be aware of ourselves.
Bodies, yeah.
I mean, I tell my friends that look at your neighbor, check them and let them know that they can make it better.
Okay, so there's no one there that is doing the right thing. It's just how we are created.
Yeah.
It's just how we're created.
Yeah.
So help me understand if I'm going to, not really correct, but if I'm going to, well, correct my lifestyle, let's say, and how am I supposed to walk? Because obviously, as you've seen from that, we're shaped differently, or we're made differently. So how the S-curve person will walk versus the next person is different. But there must be a standard way for me to stand or walk or...
Not really.
Really?
Not really. Walking does not affect us that much.
If I walk for long distances and I feel pain, that's still...
We can compensate because you can't change much about nature. However, things that affect us are sitting, carrying, and how we use our neck. So if we can get that, it would be
so
very
for
good.
example, there's a carrying one where I think I'm a victim of this one. I always carry going down with my entire neck
and the back. No, that's
then
not.
I lift up.
That's not so good.
Whereas we're supposed to sort of squat down.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly.
But who remembers that?
No, you can try. And for some who have knee pains, you can try and push your bums away. But in the way we are trying to say that, keep your back straight. When you keep the back straight and not that sharp bend, because when you get the sharp bend, you're putting stress on your spine, the bones, but also causing your back, apart from the center of the gravity acting on your spine, you're causing it to carry a lot of forces from your stomach. Yet you're also carrying the load. So that's a big insult to the body. Like I said, we always insult our bodies, but there are big insults that really cause us havoc.
But that's lifting. So just like you said, the jerrycan, even what you carry, for example, if you work where you need to carry something on your head, it shouldn't be bigger than you.
But we do not want things to be carried on the head.
Why not? That's how my life is.
No. We are making life better now. It's good. I'm a specialist in health and safety. There are always more techniques of doing things because we realize that because of how you do things, how you work, really affects you. And carrying things on the head is not good.
Really?
It's not good.
We should not be carrying things on our heads.
Maybe very, very light, but you shouldn't.
Because that's
of course, our friends from far do it, but if you can avoid it, the better.
Wow. Okay, so we've learned about how, well, we carry things. Sitting position is supposed to be back straight.
Sitting position also, we recommend that you support your back. But how do we normally sit? Like in our sofa sets?
Where the sofa set goes is where I go.
Exactly. So what happens that you put a very big force on your lower back. That's why lower backs are so common. Because that's how we sit. We'll have to slouch around. And we call it relaxing or chillaxing. That's what people
So even if I'm sitting down,
support your back.
It's supposed to still... You know, sometimes you find yourself not balancing.
No, sometimes when you sit on the mat and you can find a wall to lean on, very good. Lean on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never been
or
able
the
to
Muslim
balance.
way, it will keep you stable if you can. Yes.
They've cracked it. They've cracked it. So what would be the advice for someone who's been watching this and thinking, I need to change a few things? Oh, but before we get there, the one that I have failed to change, even after Dr. Ruth, you talked about the neck. The neck I have failed to change. Because I always feel like I have to look up for my neck to be straight.
No, you shouldn't look up. Ideally, they say 0 because this neck is supposed to bend. Actually, it's supposed to function. It has to move in all directions. It has to bend, it has to look to the sides and the other sides and up and all through. But where do we get, because we look at what we call the biomechanics of the body, where do we get little insult to the body? We can never read face direct. It's a bit hard to look straight. And it will be straining your muscles. It's too artificial. And then also reading your phone or book when it's at the lap level, holding your book at your thigh level. It's also an overstrain.
Because
that means down. Your neck is bending at over 60 degrees. And that way, remember that pivot pulley system? It is the pivot carrying the load of your head, so depending on how heavy your head is, and also the gravity from the center of the earth or the earth. So that is too much. But the ideal is reading at breast level.
Oh, so here.
Yeah, breast level.
So if I have a book, Dr. Ruth, you're saying it should be here.
Just below the breast.
Here.
Yes, very good.
But I would have to do this.
That's okay. That's a 30 degrees.
Right.
It's
so
a little insult.
This is better than this.
Exactly.
In other words. So
yeah.
I should always read here.
Yeah, that's okay. That is safer.
Okay. So my phone.
But we also want
where is it going?
Not,
yes,
yeah, breast level. It's not so bad.
So this
30
is not
degrees.
bad for my neck.
No, it's a little insult. Because the other one is too ideal. And when you're so artificial, the body doesn't like that being so artificial.
Yeah, because this I could not do straight. Yeah.
So breast level is good.
Okay,
yes.
so are we able to do our own stretches or sort of rehabilitate our own bodies before we get to Dr. Ruth?
Yes, it's very possible. Exercise, although these days we recommend good exercise, especially for people above 50. There's what we call safe exercise. I like the way Ugandans are coping with the culture of exercise.
Running especially.
Running.
Yeah.
However, that's another very big topic that we shall talk about. Exercise is very good, but also poses a lot of dangers. So people above 50, watch out. There's what we call the prerequisites for exercise, what we call the exercise prescription. Yeah. They have to go through some steps to see how they will cope with that stress. Okay. Because you'll find a 50-year-old wanting to jog like a 30-year-old.
For long distances.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah. So
walking is the safest.
Walking. Okay, so that's even if you're 50 plus.
Yeah, exactly. But no, we want to jog, we want to be stronger, but our bodies are different and we respond differently with the demands of the bodies.
Okay, so exercise, of course, not too strenuous as well on the body. And
exercise
of course, you said
good.
The age gap.
The age gap matters, and also the medical conditions there. Hypertensives, the diabetic people, sickle cell people, the pregnant people, people with osteoarthritis should seek guidance during that. Sometimes, for example, a person with osteoarthritis goes to the gym and they're told to skip a rope. Yeah. Because they are cutting weight.
But
they are causing a lot of impact to the knees.
Okay, so which is not good for them.
A person with a back pain but having a big tummy goes to the gym and they are told to do sit-ups. Oh. Which is like, okay, but it's an insult.
You'll feel the pain actually.
You're causing a lot of tension on your lower back.
Okay.
Wow. So I'm causing more harm than good.
Okay, so the value of stretching after exercise.
That is also good. It's good to exercise. If exercise was a pill, it would be branded in a bottle and put in the supermarkets. I think we'd all run for it and buy it. So
our diets are not key?
Very good also, very good. But exercise is primary, posture is primary, then our diet.
Okay, so does the posture help to rehabilitate whatever pain I have over time?
Yes, for example, if your neck was paining and then you just lift up, you learn how to make it better. Because whenever you have a bad posture, it's an insult to the body. We talked about insults. So over time, this body will slap you back, and it slaps us back with pain. So most times, just a simple correction of posture can make it better. And sometimes, even if you treat and people are not correcting their work behavior, you're just wasting time. I had a friend who had a very good chair. It was an ergonomic chair, like we say, but it wasn't meant for him. So while we were treating, so it wasn't improving. When we made a visit, we realized that it was a very good chair, but not meant for him.
Okay. You have to make changes. Dr. Ruth Balamezi from Nerves and Bone Rehabilitation Center in Ntinda. Just in case, don't be afraid. Walk in there and let her tell you how bad it is or how okay you are.
No. Just consultation.
Just consultation, so she can tell you how it is. Or you can start by correcting just a few things. This is a lifestyle problem mostly.
True, lifestyle.
So sit upright. And they've told you when you're reading at breast levels, you've said it, not on your laps or too far, just don't strain it, be normal, in other words. And I think, just as wind up, I saw this, the executive director of KCCA, Jennifer from C, when I was with her, her car, she has a particular back support. And I thought, brilliant, this is a woman who knows if I'm going to sit in a car for long, I need my back to be supported. So those little changes, if we can make them, then you don't have to walk into Dr. Ruth's office crying at all times. Thank you for making time.
Thank you so much,
We'll be back to talk about why fitness is a bigger and broader subject.
Yeah, it's very big, yeah.
All right, you're watching Morning at NTV. Have a good day.
Thank you.